Hi everyone, welcome back. It's the Louis Vuitton Princess, and today we're going to be filming another super exciting video, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys one of my all-time favorite Louis Vuitton collections. So today we are going to be looking at the Louis Vuitton Multicolor Fringe collection. So I am a huge fan of Louis Vuitton Multicolor. As many of you guys know, I'm allegedly, according to a lot of people, the queen of Louis Vuitton Multicolor. And so multicolors really had a big resurgence, but what a lot of people don't know about Louis Vuitton Multicolor is that there are sort of these like niche multicolor collections within Louis Vuitton Multicolor. One of the most popular and notable is the Louis Vuitton Multicolor Eye collection, and one that you don't see nearly as often is the Louis Vuitton Fringe collection. Now you can probably see why it's called Louis Vuitton Multicolor Fringe, as it has this absolutely beautiful rainbow fringe detailing. I always get asked about this one and just this collection in general. When people see the bags, they often ask, is it real? Yes. They also often ask, did I have this done? So if you were in this community in the late 2010s, then you probably remember the fringe craze, when basically people were running around and fringe was just in like all of the little shops and whatnot and crafters and all that. They were all running around and they were fringing Louis Vuitton items. Some of them were cute, some of it was cute, most of it left a lot to be desired. But my biggest thing that I disliked about the fringe craze in the crafting community was the bags were often very expensive. A lot of people didn't really know because maybe they weren't familiar with Louis Vuitton, but it really was this classic thing of they were buying a Louis Vuitton bag for maybe, at the time back then, $200, $100, and they would add fringe and then they were trying to sell it for like $1,500, and it's just like, that's not how that works. But nonetheless, some of the bags were cute, most of them were not. But in my personal opinion, if you want a fringed Louis Vuitton bag, just go for this collection and skip over all the okie dokie stuff. So there were 3 pieces made in this collection, and I currently own 2 of the 3. I am on the hunt for the last one. I just missed it. I actually just missed 2, and I'm pretty sad about it. But it was one of those things where I absolutely could have purchased it, but trying to be responsible with money and whatnot, so I didn't necessarily, because this is a very expensive collection, I did not necessarily want to spend the money right now. So I was like, I'm gonna hold off and maybe try to find another one. I hate being responsible with money. My life is literally that meme where people are always like, oh, how do you like do this and how do you do that and how do you have this and how do you have that? It's like, no, there's no secrets. I'm just financially irresponsible. I do not like being financially responsible, and I've shed a tear every night basically since I missed that bag. So the third bag is a bucket bag. It's a bucket PM, similar to just the traditional Louis Vuitton bucket PM, except for it has the fringing and it's super cute. So this pochette here actually is not a mini pochette. I don't know if I misspoke and called it a mini pochette, because I do that sometimes, but this is not actually a mini pochette. This is actually the Louis Vuitton bucket pochette, and I've talked about this in previous videos that the bucket pochettes are actually a little bit larger than the mini pochette. I personally am a big fan of the bucket pochette. I also have a bucket pochette in the Louis Vuitton series or cherry collection, but I'm a huge fan of bucket pochettes. I like that they're just a little bit bigger. It just is a little bit more room. So I think first we'll start with the bucket pochette. So this one I purchased pretty recently. I purchased this bucket pochette not even a month ago, I don't think. And this one was a great find because, as you can see, the condition is absolutely beautiful on this one. This is a collection that it's, for whatever reason, hard to find these in good condition. I don't know why, because this was a very pricey bag, and it always annoys me when I find very pricey collections. And the condition is just horrid because, you know, I guess it's the whole mindset of like, if you just have money to burn, you know, you don't really appreciate your items as much as like, you know, people who don't have money to burn. So I think it's kind of giving that of like a lot of people who purchased this collection when it first came out, they just had a lot of disposable money, so they didn't really baby it. So it's really hard to find pieces from this collection that are in really good condition, but I was very lucky to find this one. Now, this one did have flaws. The main flaw, and I actually missed both of these flaws, guys. I didn't listen to my own rules. I always talk about how when you're buying online, and it doesn't matter from where, you absolutely need to look at the pictures super closely. I was just happy to find this at a good price. I didn't follow my own rules, so I ended up missing two very major things. The first major thing is there was no zipper pull. So as you can see, the plastic is still on this one because I got it replaced. There was no zipper pull. So this whole part was gone and just the slider was there. That was the first thing that I just like completely missed. I'm just looking down because I don't know what my dog is doing, but whatever. And then the second thing that I missed that was pretty major is there was no chain. This chain part. So I got both of these replaced at Louis Vuitton. I was very grateful that they did the replacement for free, but they actually made a boo-boo, so I have to go back and get more work done on this piece because as you can see, they put a chain and clasp on this piece for a mini pochette. Now, once again, I made the clarification that this is a bucket pochette. It's not a mini pochette, and it's a little bit bigger. So they gave me hardware for a mini pochette, and it does not fit on the hardware for the bucket pochette. It doesn't fit. As you can see, it just doesn't quite close. And I've tried using force. I've tried everything. It doesn't close. So for now, I'm using it like this as kind of more like a wristlet chain until I can get back into Louis Vuitton and get this repaired. I'm not super surprised they made this mistake. I did specify that it was a bucket pochette and not a mini pochette, but you know, you don't see the bucket pochettes very often, so I'm not surprised that they made the mistake. It's one of those things that's kind of very heavily weighed in brand knowledge. Either you know or you don't. So this is the bucket pochette, and one of my favorite things that I love about this is they not only do the fringing, I love that they made the fringing colorful. They didn't just do like plain brown suede, and I love all the little charms. So this one's my favorite for obvious reason because it's pink and I love pink. So there are all these little charms on here, and as you can see, the multicolor canvas is still the same underneath. It's just blocked out by the fringe. Lots of pretty charms. And another thing that I really love about this collection is the stitching. All of the pieces have this very pretty, you know, kind of like southwestern stitching pattern, and I just think that's so pretty. I love that they really tried to add some variation with the stitching, and they didn't just, you know, keep it plain. And so then this is my other favorite charm here. It's got some pretty greens and blues. And I mean, as you can see from looking at this piece, again, I did not lie when I told you guys it was in amazing condition. I mean, this one is just absolutely beautiful. There's no flaws. All of the crystals are in place. Everything just is great. Now, another thing I love about this piece, and this is kind of hidden, I didn't know until I purchased my first one, is it has this beautiful interior. Again, for all of my pink girlies, my Barbie pink girlies, this is a collection that you will love. The pink is not showing up super good on camera, but I promise you, it's like the most beautiful hot fuchsia pink you've ever seen, and I absolutely love that. So this is the Pochette. I purchased this one for about $900, which is pricey. But you know, it's a very fair price for this item. Once again, you could not purchase these separately. You had to purchase it with the bucket. And you often see that now with a lot of these vintage collections, that if you have a bucket and it came with a pochette, you will often see that the bucket and the pochette are separated. I don't know if it's because people lost them. I don't know if it's because people sold one piece and kept the other, or if it is literally just the economic thing of people know they can get a large amount of money for each piece, so they might as well sell them separately versus selling them together. I think that's probably what it is, because again, this little pochette alone was over $900, so I think it was just kind of one of those things. So the next piece we're going to look at, and this was the first piece I acquired from this collection, is the Louis Vuitton Multicolor Fringe Speedy. So this Speedy is very special for a lot of reasons. One of the first reasons this Speedy is so special is because it is a Speedy 25. If you tell people you have a multicolor Speedy 25, they're going to look at you like you're absolutely insane, because as far as most people know, the multicolor Speedies only came in 30. Me having a lot of rare bags, I actually up there have the multicolor noir Speedy 40. So I actually have multicolor Speedies in 25, 30, and 40. I don't have a 35, but I do have two rare sizes in the multicolor Speedies. So this is the Speedy 25 in multicolor Blanc Fringe. So as you can see, there are quite a few characteristics that make it different than a traditional multicolor Speedy or just Speedy 25 in general. So one of the first things that's probably most noticeable is it has an exterior pocket. Now this pocket is turning pink, which like kind of annoys me, but if you're familiar with this brand, this is something that oftentimes happens, and I'm actually working on a method of dealing with this. So perhaps this will be my first trial piece to work on this. I'm actually working on a reversal technique for this issue, so perhaps this will be one of the first pieces that I try out. So nonetheless, it does have an external pocket, which I think is really cool. You guys know I'm a sucker for external pockets. I was looking around to see if I had a phone handy. I don't see one handy, but I love external pockets because I love the ability to just be able to tuck a phone right there in the side. Again, we have this beautiful southwestern stitching pattern that we see on all of these bags. Again, the zipper pull. I mean, the continuity in this piece is beautiful. We have, again, that southwestern zipper, or I'm sorry, stitching pattern. And then the next thing that makes it so obviously not like a traditional Speedy is the fringing itself, as well as there is vachetta on the outside of the bag. So we have all of our charms and fringes. The ASMR is just so beautiful. We have all of our charms and the fringe, but we also have here this vachetta on the outside of the bag, and that vachetta, again, continuity features that sort of like southwestern-esque stitching. Absolutely love that. So again, the multicolor canvas is the same under here. So I'll kind of lift it up briefly. It is the same under here. It's just covered by the fringe. And I'll show you guys the other side too. I always have to like kind of get under here. Yeah, so it is the same. Look at that, that's just beautiful. It is the same under, it's just under the fringe, and here's the bottom. So all of those aspects of the bag are completely the same. You just have the fringing, you have some extra vachetta leather on the outside, you have some special stitching, and it's all just generally very beautiful, as well as some extra hardware. So this piece I purchased from Australia, and I think I got this one like, I want to say like 3 years ago or something at this point. I've had it a while. It doesn't seem like I've had it that long, but I guess it has been a little bit. And there's actually like some things in here because I carry this one a lot. And so again, here's that beautiful pink interior. It's like not getting it's just due, and that's kind of annoying me because it is so pretty. Oh, I can pull it out. Okay. So here it is. You'll see it better if I pull it out. So here's that beautiful pink interior, and here is our made in stamp. This one was made in France. Oh, look at the pink. It's so gorgeous. See, I was promising you guys that it was like the prettiest pink you've ever seen, and hopefully this has lived up to it now. But beautiful pink interior. Not a ton going on the inside. There's two pockets, one kind of medium pocket that I just showed you guys, and there's one of those little Y2K cell phone pockets for when people had those little Nokias. I rarely use those pockets now just because I don't really have anything that fits in there. But you know, they're just like a cute little relic of the past. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the multicolor Speedy Fringe 25 and the multicolor Speedy Fringe bucket pochette. And I really hope the next time I'm sitting here with you guys with these two bags, I will be showing you the bucket as well. As always, make sure to check out my Instagram at the Louis Vuitton Princess to see more of my handbags. And if you're interested in shopping my closet, make sure you stop by Shop LV Princess on Instagram.